We can now nitpick the Panthers win. Panthers won on Sunday, right? And yesterday, I think we did the appropriate thing, which is essentially celebrate, right? You talk about the good. You talk about the final drive. You talk about Bryce Young having poise. You talk about Mingo and DJ Chark making plays. And that's what we should have done. But now we can look at it through a normal critical lens.
The honeymoon phase is officially over.
Well, yeah, exactly. We've done exactly what we should have done, and now, it's no different than if you were on the team, right? If you're on the team in the post game, you're talking about the good, the awesome, and everything, right? Then you show up on Monday or Tuesday, depending on your schedule. You flip the film on, and suddenly it's not all gumdrops and rainbows, right? A lot of things, even in a win, that you're going to get a negative grade from your position coach. And it's an interesting way to think about it, right? It's so much easier to be critical of yourself after a win. Because after a loss, you're thinking, oh, man, I missed that block. That cost us a win. After a win, you're going, oh, man, I missed that block. Better not do that again. The critical plays on offense are not good enough for the Panthers. And what I mean by that are throughout the game, there are certain plays that have their own section of the playbook, right? Or the play chart. Remember, how the coaches use the laminated sheets? They look like Denny's menus with all the plays on them. They're not just like, hey, plays in alphabetical order from 1 to 120. They're broken up. There's third down plays. There's red zone plays. Right? There's take a shot plays. They're all broken up. So when a coach wants to do something, he knows what section to go to. The Panthers in the section plays, the critical plays, didn't do well enough. Couldn't convert a 4th and 1 on a sneak early in the game. Couldn't convert a 4th and 7 on a completed pass to Thielen. One of the pet peeves of everybody, and I know you're trying to catch it on the run and you can still go for the first down, but if I'm completing a ball downfield, I need that player to be beyond the line of to gain, beyond the first down marker when he catches it. Adam Thielen made a catch on 4th and 7 and picked up 6.5 yards. They got down inside the 10, field goal. Right? That's red zone plays. They got down inside the 10 again. Field goal. They need to be touchdowns. Right? When you look at it, these are plays that you have entire portions of practice dedicated to. Usually like Thursday is third downs. Right? You'll have a section where the one offense, one defense go down and you'll do red zone work. These are plays. The reason why they're singled out on the play sheet, the reason why they're singled out in practice is because they're that darn important and you can judge them, right? Not being good in the red zone is an issue. Not being good on 3rd and 4th downs is an issue. And then you do have the final drive where, because you execute in that high-pressure moment, some of these, kind of sins are forgiven. But when you're watching film, they aren't. You have to convert touchdowns in the red zone, especially when it's a gross day outside, it's raining, and opportunities are scarce. Right? You convert those 2 field goals to touchdowns. If the first 2 field goals where you got down inside the 10 and you didn't score, you convert those 2 to touchdowns, and it feels like you're ahead by 40 in that game.
The game kind of gets out of hands for the Falcons in a sense.
And then the Falcons have to press.
It's forcing them to throw the ball downfield in terrible conditions.
And Desmond Ridder is the one doing it, who's not going to be their quarterback anymore. Taylor Heineke's taken over. It comes back to, it's a Mike Tomlinism that we've referenced a bunch on the show. Dennis, who normally produces a Steelers fan, where it's doing the routine plays routinely. They don't have the explosive plays. Right? The Panthers will go a whole game without picking up more than like 17 yards and a single play. And when you have that holding you back, when you don't have the explosives, you don't have a Tyreek Hill, you don't have a Jamar Chase, right? You don't have one of these guys that's going to give you a 60, 70-yard touchdown. You have to convert the plays that you practice more than the others. You have to. It's something I'll break it down even more simply. When I played college football at the University of Delaware, which by the way
Go Hens.
is not apples to apples to the NFL. I don't pretend to be, and I like to clarify that. But we used to have 3 plays every week for 2-point conversions. And we all knew what they were, right? We would huddle up just because why not? But you didn't have to. We knew the order of them. We knew 1, 2, and 3 from the yard line tucked in deep there. We were going for 2. It was the 3-yard line. We knew what plays we were going to run, and every week we went over it. If we ever needed a 2-point conversion late in the game and did not convert, it felt like we were being punched in the gut because we hammered those plays home. We put extra work into those plays. We knew what that play was going to do against this particular defense. Right? We've spent more time scouting how they might react to this formation or this motion. If it didn't work, we'd be upset. Not because the play didn't work and it was crucial. Obviously, that is part of it. But a lot of it was, man, we worked extra hard on that and it didn't work. Right, that's a knock to your confidence. So if you're working extra hard on 4th down calls or 3rd down calls, you're working extra hard on red zone calls, you're putting more work into it, and it's not working, that's going to be a knock to your confidence as an entire offense. So I'm looking at the Panthers and thinking, you need to get the I don't even know what to call them, specials, but they're not special teams. The broken out, broken down, separate, the categories on the play sheet the right way. How was practice? Let's hear from the man himself. Chris Tabor, interim head coach, was asked what did he see throughout the practice week that gave him confidence going into that game.
I liked the idea of the plan that we described, how we wanted to win the game. You knew that what was coming in, how you needed to execute it, and what needed to be done in all 3 phases collectively, and how we were all going to help each other and make this thing work. And I saw, Wednesday afternoon. I thought Thursday was a good practice, and then Friday was solid. So we did everything that we were supposed to do in order to give ourselves a chance to win, and really that's how the game played out. And the offense obviously doing a great job with that 17-play drive, going down to give us a chance to win it, and that was great.
That to me is the exact, and he said that in the postgame, that to me is the exact kind of timeline that we just went through, right? You can talk about all this good, and then you have to finish with that final drive, right? The final drive is the part that makes everything else okay. We knew how we wanted to win. I don't think you were going into that one, regardless of the weather, going you know what?
Let's win ugly.
Let's stall out inside the 10 a few times, be forced into kicking field goals, which are essentially -4s, right? We used to call, if you made it down what we called the close red zone, the 10 and in, and you kicked a field goal, we would count that as -4 points for the offense. Because when you're inside the 10, you should be thinking touchdown. You kick a field goal, that 7 becomes a 3. So that's -4s, right? No coach is envisioning -4s. But as long as you finish talking about that 17-play game-winning field goal drive, all is forgiven. Well, in the future, that might not be the case. Likely, that will not be the case. Right? If the offense gets down inside the 10 twice and comes away with 2 field goals, that's -8. That's enough to lose a game for the Panthers with very small margin of victory based on their talent level. You miss out on 2 4th downs, you give the other team good field position, different offense might score. That's enough to be the difference for a team like the Panthers that has very small margin of error. We can get nitpicky now, right? They won the game. We celebrated yesterday. Now we get on them. 4th downs and red zone. That's what I need to see from the Panthers. And by the way, that was all offense. Very difficult to nitpick a defense that gave up very few points and came away with 2 turnovers, regardless of how ugly it was.